in. So, there we go. Neat and tidy, looking slick. I'm going to go to Dom Hassan first of all, because it was your team. A really important win tonight. Hugo Ekitike picking up man of the match. You must be thoroughly chuffed with your new striker's first performance in a Liverpool shirt.
Brother, first of all, I needed a break a little bit just to breathe. Like, we just fucking love drama. You just know Liverpool first game is just going to be dramatic. Ekitike was unbelievable. I still remember from when we signed him, I spoke about the fundamentals of football, and everyone was like, what do you mean fundamentals of football? Players who are fundamentally sound can improve their finishing. Let's not forget, Bergkamp in Italy was called Donkey of the Week. Dennis Bergkamp, one of the greatest footballers ever. But because he's fundamentally sound, he managed to work on stuff like this. And with us, bro, like watching Ekitike, as soon as I'm like, bro, we have a striker with a good first touch. We have a striker with a good link-up play. We have a striker that can actually hold up the ball. Instead of all this Captain Chaos bullshit, thank God he became a Liverpool player. And it's just so refreshing to actually watch a football player that can play the sport properly instead of this whole pace and power athleticism stuff. So, look, he starts off the season 1 goal, 1 assist. It's important to get numbers as well as performing well for a striker, and he's done that already. First game already, impact on both ends. I actually thought all our forwards played well, to be honest with you. I don't think any forward played badly. I thought all 4 of them, including Chiesa when he came on, all 4 of them had a great game. I heard what you said about the defensive stuff. I know you didn't ask me that question, but I don't believe necessarily it was one individual's fault.
Bro, we'll get into the defensive. We'll come on to that as a topic.
Okay, so you want to just talk about the forward line?
Yeah, so I was going to speak about like what you thought of Ekitike, you know, what he's going to bring to your team, etc. Like just in terms of his performance.
Yeah, I think Ekitike is the type of he's going to miss chances like the one he scored today. He's just going to this season, but even if he has a bad game in terms of finishing, because he's fundamentally sound, the likes of Mo will benefit. The likes of Gakpo will benefit because he's the type of player who could drop deep, create chances for both the wingers. So, like, I think his technical ability and his creativity will help us. And you could tell with the second goal, like, he just held up the ball really well, laid it off to Gakpo, and Gakpo scored. Like, so these are the basic things. The words of Jose Mourinho is the basics of football. These are the basics of football that really matter. And I actually thought he was very composed, like maybe any other striker first game at Anfield and stuff. You know, you're a little bit shitting yourself, but he actually finished it really well. And I'm very happy to see him in a Liverpool shirt. That's why I wanted him from the start of the summer. So, yeah.
No, I agree. I mean, I know, Staffy, you're a massive, massive advocate of Hugo Ekitike. And, you know, one of the things I remember there was debates about when United were linked to him. People saying, yeah, but he's more of a facilitator. He's not a goal scorer. And I know you said this, and I know I said this. It's like, well, you ain't watched him play because there are goals in there. He was just being used differently at Frankfurt. But he was sensational in his Premier League debut tonight.
Yeah, like every goal he scored 1 goal, but the first goal and the assist, I saw him get that, and I got happy for him, but then I also cried because that could have been me. That should have been me. I wanted that, I needed that, but I didn't get that. And United fans told me he's not good enough. That's why I don't trust United fans. They never lead me anywhere good. But no, impressive debut for Ekitike. Obviously scored in the first game in the Community Shield. The people said, oh, it's just a Community Shield. Comes on today. I think he was the best attacker clearly in the first half, and gets the assist. And I know it's as simple as the assist would look. People are going to be like, oh, it's just like a simple 3-yard pass or whatever. It's the idea that he can comfortably drift wide, link up the winger, and then drop into the box where he can lay off the ball like that. Not a lot of strikers are comfortable even going wide to begin with, because if you rewind the whole goal, he's the one that had the ball over there until Gakpo came to him and they did that little link up. I think he's been by far those 2 games that they played, he's been by far the best attacker they have, in my opinion, between him, Salah, and Gakpo. And I mean, listen, I have a little cheeky bet, you know, not a bet, but like more of like a told you so by the end of the season, that I think he's going to be one of the best strikers, and we might look at him as one of the best signings. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't even think they need Isak. I mean, I know they want Isak, but I don't think they need him. And he's proven that. But absolutely outstanding performance, in my opinion. From all the debutants, he had the best debut.
Yeah, I mean, without a shadow of a doubt. And Coach Joe, I know you have, thoughts on Liverpool that we'll get into when it comes to that. But Hugo Ekitike tonight under massive pressure. He's the new number 9. His performance sort of, warranted the money. What was your breakdown of his display tonight?
You know what? It hurts me to even talk good about Liverpool, but you got to be fair as a rival fan. What I will say is, watching Ekitike was as a player, he's definitely a kind of player that loves the link-up play, and I think he's perfect for Liverpool, right? Because I think they've been playing that false 9 kind of position for a long time at Liverpool, and to have him there, someone who can not only do the link-up play, someone who can dribble, and someone who actually holds up the ball quite well. He played excellently. There was a couple of times, we said in the group chat as well, a couple of times where he just peels off that last defender just to open up a bit more space, get that ball into a channel, and it just allows the other Liverpool players to come in, right? So first game for them in the Premier League, amazing performance, if I'm going to be honest with you. Now, lucky with the bounce and the goal, but listen, in football, you make your luck. You know what I'm saying, Chief? He doesn't dribble that defender, all right? The ball doesn't bounce up like that, right? So cool finish as well. So for me personally, he had a great game, and he's a great addition to the Liverpool team. Do they need Isak? I don't think it's a question of need. I think it's a beautiful addition. But watching Ekitike was nice to see. He's going to be a dangerous addition, just because also a lot of players get drawn to him, which opens up Salah. Like the whole game, every ball was going towards Ekitike and on the left-hand side, Gakpo, but that just left so much space for Salah at times. And Salah's touch as well. I know we're not talking about him, but Salah's touch was amazing at points in sometimes this game, man. Like if he had just been able to just that last little thing, he would have been even more dangerous that game. So I don't want to glaze him too much, but Ekitike is looking like a serious contender. So
he's gonna have a lot of good games that he's not gonna score in. By the way, like this is the closest they had to Firmino, if I'm being honest, because Firmino had a lot of good games where he didn't score, and no one ever complained about him. Today was a pure performance that, when you look at it, if he didn't get that goal, you still wouldn't say he was playing bad. He was doing everything. His hold up play was good. His link up play was good. As I said, being comfortable going wide. Obviously, gets the goal, gets the assist. There's really nothing to complain about. I mean, that's what I was saying. Like, you don't really need Isak. You want Isak. And you said that, Kojo. Like, I was going to tell you, like, you need a Ferrari when you already have a Lamborghini and you have a Maybach and you have whatever. I mean, you don't need it, but sure, you want to add it to that collection you already have. And that's what it's coming down to right now with Liverpool.
Habibi, the rich get richer.
That's true. That's the truth of life, honestly.
Hey, I've got 5 supercars. Let's make them 6. Fuck it. Why not?
One of the supercars was stinky today. I can't lie.
Hey, stinky with a goal is something I take every week. Let's go. If he stinks and scores 30 goals, let him stink every week.
Yes.
I will say,
is he on the agenda?
I hear that, but I'm going to go to Lou for a second as well. I mean, a great debutant. There's a few other strikers this weekend making their debuts, but we'll be hoping that one of them is as good at the very least as Ekitike. We're hoping the other one has maybe a little bit more of a Kirkes performance in relation to that. But Liverpool as a frontline overall, so we are touching on Ekitike, but as a frontline overall, they look a problem for everybody else this year, Lou.
They do. They were actually sickeningly very good. I was very excited in the group chat before just the football was back. I was like buzzing, we have football, blah, blah. I didn't care it was Liverpool, it's going to be fine. I'm going to enjoy it because we've missed football. And then, it started, it was going well. And then the goals started going and I was like, oh, I didn't miss this bit. Where Liverpool were just winning games all the time. Can we skip this bit? But no, they were really, really, really good. And in terms of Ekitike, like fitting in with the others, he doesn't look like he's just new. They're working so well together. They're linking up so well together. The communication is very, very clearly there. Because, I think it was Kojo said earlier about the little pass, the assist. That doesn't happen by accident. You have to know where the other person is and is going to be. That's like, it needs to be fast. You can't be like, looking, where are they, or you missed the opportunity. He knew where he was going to be. They've very, very clearly worked very closely on their communication where they expect the other person to be. So it just was very, very fluid, which is obviously the kind of football you want to be watching, preferably not from your rivals though. I would prefer if that's, as you say, Terry, the kind of fluidity we're going to see on Sunday from one of our new strikers. But yeah, it was really nice football, which sickens me to say about Liverpool, but it was really enjoyable to watch. Unfortunately,
it was. Before we move on to the defensive area.